So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian cancer, silence. Islamic leaders, silence. Kings and queens, silence. Traditional leaders, silence. So who go say the truth?
True for justice.
We are the workers of what's the call? Now why are you no better? We are the workers of what's the call? What has I no better? Who go say the truth?
True for justice.
Who go say the truth?
True for justice.
Oh, you need to know see what's I see so. Now your friend and I come as only papi obeka no sambia. So I told one, I bet you were two. Everybody was afraid. And until I learned to my cottage, I get 9. Once my boy dumping one and I cheat. But who go tell the truth? Nanai or say a man. Nanso bien person can wasam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini. Aku could draw for you not danima. And who go say the truth?
True for justice.
Obiatra konson so to grow your mansa to me be a cacobrafo. If I need a yet, if when you know yet. Na so could trata down so be their back or why no keke. I feel it for the man more piafo, if no cross on my moon. Hanya safwe muayini. Aku could draw for you not danima. And who go say the truth?
True for justice.
Abaya di bote chino. Yeah di bi bebo nyande bi. Tachi se would your mouth pipinuma. Would your mind never shine my friend for some? But who go tell the truth?
True for justice.
Do you see silence? Even journalists silence. So then who go say the truth?
True for justice.
Right is right, wrong
True, true for justice.
Right is right, wrong is wrong, no matter how you justify.
True, true for justice.
You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you. Now the person become your target.
True, true for justice.
Jobless, no, they mean senseless. Poverty, no, they mean useless. One day, they go resist.
True, true for justice.
The country where I come from, the truth is unharmony. Just like animal farm, justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian can say silence. Islamic leaders silence. Kings and queens silence. Traditional leaders silence. So who go say the truth?
True, true for justice.
We are the workers of confuse the call. Now by area, why no better? We are the workers of confuse the call. One guy's why no better? Who go say the truth?
True, true for justice.
Who go say the truth?
True, true for justice.
Oh, you need it now, see what I say so. Now your friend when I come as him. Only papi obeka na sembia. So I won't go bet you to everybody. Anya safwe muayini. Akuku trofo nyina danima. Enti who go say the truth?
True, true for justice.
Obiadra konson so to grow Jamansa to me be a cacobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo. Wanyina ye. Na so kutrata down so be dia back or why no keke. I feel for the man more piafo efo. No cross on my move. Anya safwe muayini. Akuku trofo nyina danima. Enti who go say the truth?
True, true for justice.
Abaya di bote chino. Yedi bi bebo nyande bi. Tachisa would your mouth pipinuma. Would your mind never shine my frafonsa? But who go tell the truth?
True, true for justice.
TUC silence.
Yeah, again, me want you remember some butcher no tea.
Yes, from your Kodanya.
Tea, you want pa, and you never made the papa.
Mr. President, you there?
I was any pack of the correct. A book at the sim.
Ghana man Penny, I want to thank you so much. Nano Mitro Kratabi, now on Sakaya, yes, word man. Naya Kawati, we ain't and Crawford Fair, listing president. What's your Indian and Crawford Fair was here, dear young. And I know me for coming Kumasa, like an Dania Gochlet, Kumase Shoe Factory, Commander Sugar Factory, Sada Rice Plantation, Tamal International Airport, Atwabo Gas Pipeline, Eastern Region University, Mampong 20, a na no my mama tin so common ne mobile and your man penny answer every summer na wo ya campaign woman when you so rest and now they was something I told Yankopon now vampire be fair or to I in see I ne okronkronye upenya won and you nyameta wachi magana fuabo wachi domedia obi awaya na so bese wono Holy Ghost fire na so for motion control the form and penny Holy Ghost fire na wana wokikan konto pogusu ko ankra Holy Ghost fire I say all the distracted fire burn them Holy Ghost fire I'm penny ni chacha Ghana man penny I wanna tell you a story Somebody go buy donkey sit on the donkey with the picking the gold now in the one person meet I'm ask and say why you the punish the donkey quickly the man drop him picking oh yeah make you follow me go another man say the man ask and say why you they do so now you they sit on donkey and you picking the waka they follow the man now drop down and put the picking for top another person see the picking and say you know the respect so now you they sit on donkey and your papa they waka they follow. Hey, which can contribute this? So anything you go do, them go talk. Dollar they go up, them go talk. Dollar they come down, them go talk. If you they fight against corruption, them go talk. If you no fight them go talk. Anything you go do, them go talk. So papa make you there focus. Do what you go fi do. Now we are when we nana so nipa that send is one tia. Edio jaya shekwaye neta frebo ene mbonunku Yedi jina Yesu dimu obianke die Holy Ghost fire Litofel uwajina tube kwa Holy Ghost fire Na software motion control the form and penny Holy Ghost fire Farasi Ye frami ya kwa danyami Machoka katintinti vya medeko moment penny na some be akwaso Ghana ha emra so same so me kabi amatani chacha Ghana matani me mawatanasi na wa bravo ya hesudie be mama bebe papa ebinu kantan din se saudi wunteni nyoma penida ebinu se di wasabo afuso se odi enfata ne oya mapeni na nada kwa oniyo ne mo makiti sauni na mo kitasa na hama wanya usikabia aikanu jabe bebe onu na onyu yesikama ufanye utu wano domre eno osweda kuno kusu banku na usi upene
yeah dear okosroba fam will die with NDC
na sanetio kwa
na MPP suban we dear
usi upene ya diama unu omapenie na sanetio kwa stop complaining if you say the country blocks so you they can fix them so you know everything kwaku before you can fix them.
Hello friends.
The words Nana Akufo-Addo used for President Mills. President Akufo-Addo told President Mills if the economy is broke, fix it. So Dr. Bawumia, the Vice President, if NDC has collapsed the economy, fix it.
One constituency, $1 million.
I want to say hi to you. Just come down here, say hi to me. I want to know who it is that I'm here with.
Traders are importers are crying. I was so kind for you, so magazine and quality. Galan sell for so one district, one factory. A pata cry a movie. One village, one dam. A brand book and tubi. What do I know? Don't and now. Also, I don't know. Kosa banko. Na ose open a diamond on my penny. Na sanetio kwaku. Among what they say. If you say the country blocks so you they can fix them. So you know everything kwaku. Stop complaining. Oh my penny I dey greet you. Ghana man penny hunger the killers. You say we for tight our belt. Meanwhile, you dey lose your own. Corruption, insecurity. It be in the killers, nana. It no be you say you never go borrow. Not say Canada, ewaha. Ebana sang, China ni biwa. Now friend nana borrow. See, large government, way they bring large corruption. Family and friend government, yen friend wakufwa, when you be. Daughters and nephews government, if they make nothing to go on.
Can't fall apart. Bamboy was gonna happen and yeah, papa.
I am telling Ghanaians that we are not safe. They butchered me, they twisted my neck, they seized my phone, my money.
Who did all of this to you?
So-called invisible forces.
And we all know that the present government and there are corrupt appointees.
Someone telling them no corrupt person so far as NPP government is concerned. NPP part 1, NPP part 2. You're not the notorious corrupt government NPP to say, man, because I'm moving collected their money in their account and go.
When you want something, you hear somebody telling you bullshit or just for no better night or something. That's what you say. Last time I was told
Why is homosexuality still illegal in your country? Is that something you would get behind?
I think that it is something that is bound to happen.
Hey Kobe, how you doing, Kobe? Yes, I wanna make things straight today concerning certain political issues going on in Ghana. It's very sad that we allow ourselves to be stepped over, and this is what I fight off. This is what I hate in my life. I hate that people know exactly what you're doing and they try their very possible best just to hurt you. And I don't play with this kind of thing at all. Today, my message is to let you understand that don't let anybody step over you. Don't let anyone, no one step over you. Let me tell you this. I had a video I was playing today and I say, when you are playing football, and you are not in yet and you are on the bench, you see everything different. But when you go into the football, when they resume you, they put you back into the football and you get in there, you're going to know that things are different as well. Because the difference of you sitting back there at the bench and coming into play are two different things altogether. So I just want to say that Nana Akufo-Addo has failed Ghana big time. He knows. I'm praying that he accepts the challenge to debate Mahama. Yeah, I accept the challenge. Anka obey to me, I accept the challenge now. And can bear me the rough. Then we'll see Onipa Oti economics. Onipa Oti amemuase. Nipoti. Look, I always say so. Onipa biya nipa. Onipa biya fault. But the biya me say me say, why you who die no? Ufa hu dwane. Why you who die no? Ufa hu dwane. Na da ye be hu die. Da ye be hu die. Na ye be hu say, hey, say ujafo. Onso juma onso di ni no. Na aye too late. Me, I will not come and sit here and chastise anybody. But I'm saying, say, we only part of ni. Na unim say moja and they do more fusani no obi na ebo wa. Eya susu kasa. Eya susu peja ho. Susu say obey ho say wo yo no a. Because I quite remember the kind of promises that Nana made before he came into power. Now he has just even begun to disgrace himself. Why am I saying he has begun to disgrace himself? because he went and told everybody, the world, Ghana, that this election is going to be about deeds. It's going to be about records. It's going to be about who did what and who did what. And we all know that after a few comparisons, after a few debates of both NDC and MPP proving what the NADO has done and, what Muhammad did, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. And I have a video I wanted to show you. I may not show you today, but I'm still gathering effort. I still want to get more information before I get into this. Why I'm saying this is because, the vice president came and said that, he compared the Kwame Nkrumah interchange and other jobs he are doing. And you see, so when you are a liar, you lie through your teeth, you don't know when you're going to be caught. And the very day that Dr. Bawumia went to the town hall meeting and bragged, I'll tell you this, he has been disgraced than ever. He has been exposed than ever. And I feel so sad. Now MPP is walking around looking for buildings of people, and, trying their very possible best to paint it and, add it to their infrastructural development. Things they have not done. And it's sad. Share, people, listen to me. Look. Muhammad is not going to give me anything. Akufo-Addo is not going to give me anything. But if we vote for you and you say you are going to kill corruption, I expect you to kill corruption. If you tell me you're going to make Ghana neat and more beautiful than ever, I will put you to it and expect you that you are going to accomplish it. You understand? Yeah. I don't know whether or not it's the people that are around the president. It's the people around the president that are sabotaging him or whatsoever. I don't know. Because I don't know what the guys are thinking. And he went and said that this is going to be about development and all that. And yes, it's going to be about development and all that, but you have not done enough. Muhammad's record shown in the past shows that he has done enough more. And you see, Ghana is about time. That journey of mine near your personal gains when it comes to governance. Yeah? When we traveled to America, we learned a couple of things. We learned how to manage your personal life. You understand? We learned how to do that. Number one, we learned how to pay our bills through check. You write your check, you send it to where it's supposed to go, and the bills are paid. Okay? Now, we know that before I do groceries or whatever, you know your income. You know your expenditure. So you know what things. Sometimes you don't even have enough that you have to pay some and let other week come and then you pay the others. And all this things go down to management. Yes, yeah. And so media yana medine who say Ghana yendu bebia fine obi ko school emrani ye nkwara ni bia ba no. I've seen parents pay their kids fees. Now Muslim wefu because who go school your ma wala was into wefu. Maybe so asem krom ha ye mo be allowance. Because the government and the people understand that there are more things to be done than just giving money. We are doing it in a way still Ghana say when petrol is supposed to be increased and it's not the fault of the government, petrol needs to be increased. It shouldn't be politicized in any way. But the point of it is that ignorance in politics makes it even difficult for the politician to even operate because they use their mouth to say certain things. And these things they say are not things that are doable. So they find themselves in trouble. They find themselves retrogressing 5 backwards, 2 forward. And exactly what Nanado has fallen into. I don't wish him bad. I don't wish him any evil. But I'm just saying that we need to understand this free SHS is a good thing. It is a good thing. But are we ready for it? No. You understand? We are not ready for it. Fine. He did it. Whatever he was supposed to do, he has done it. Fine. Let's give him credit for that. But I'm just saying, look at all the brouhaha that is going around with free SHS and all those things. I've spoken to people, even including my mother, that told me, yes, this man wants everybody to go to school. But I also said, say, the kind of school that everybody has to go is not meant for everybody. I'm just going to be honest with you. Sa school na wamo eka wo ho say also obiako school ni bi no metiase. School so obiako bi a primary school. So obiako bi. But I'm telling you, and you bia na because senior high school. And you bia na because university. Why? Na me amboy nyina pe. Ebirimuti e good for mathematics and science. Ability is good and more creative with carpentry. Ability is good for calculation for masonry. Ability is good for laying tiles. Ability is good for painting. Ability is good for mechanic works. Ability is good for all kinds of things. And you know, we must grow our country in a way, say, I was here separating, craftsmanship from math and science. Let those who want to be lawyers be lawyers. Let those who want to be, artisans also be artisans. And we need to understand that this is how China built their country. And China is rubbing shoulders with most countries in the world. And so, because I know BR and the Beko SHSR, I know why I'm saying that. I know why I'm saying that. What I say? Obi who bet my year through hard work. Obi bet my year through working in a warehouse. Obi bet my year by starting his own business. Now MPP does not have any message. Any message. The message that they had from 2016, talking about free SHS. I am now be to abandon any more. Even if he won, we still don't know. But yeah, for now we know that he won. I had to abandon the man, no. Now no message. I remember when I say 4 more for no. I say 4 more for Nana, 4 more for Nana, 4 more for Nana. Are you really kidding me? 2016, you came with a good message. Free SHS, this and that, and this and that. Now this year, what are you telling us? All you are doing is, Mahama, or no, baby Akoda. Look, listen to me, I'm telling you. The way Nana Akufo-Addo took, went and, drank Calipo. And when he drank Calipo, his name was everywhere. And Calipo was almost done in the whole country. This is Papano. Media me say you know. Say you know. Me mfaho. Media magiatum. Because number 1. Say Papano to me any oba enante. No to me buaro no to die no or change a man for life. This is what we need in the country. I'm not saying that but I'm just saying say all these politicians that we're talking about, Nanado and all those people, that's what they do. That's what they do. But does it mean that he cannot run the country? Let's say it this way. Nanado did not do Papano or whatever, those things, chasing girls here and there and all that kind of things. That's fine. That's okay. How far did he run the country? Meba, menyin kakra. Medi nchi kakra. Minyini sa so kakra. But a free mirror me many fear me to aba. Me who any registration say that in our entire life. Registration ma soldier for echo both Voltarians any nothingness. Even some part in Accra. If you go and you mention your name and the store and cool no not yet take a dinner sana, you are done. They're not going to let you do it. But I'm telling you, me say Masoda win aban or something's going to happen before this December elections. I'm telling you, me say something is going to happen. Yeah, here before this election. May repeat it, may say before this election, something is going to happen. Na masem nyina meka nyane say o man na ye womu at this point me who a manya at the point in our life we've gotten ourselves into a crossroad where there's evil and negativity going on. Say o see obianye spectator mo bianye spectator bo bia enhwe de woye no bia get into it. What plagiarizing? Even in that speech. And you have done opposite in your actions. Eti yeshe also be kill corruption. Na so obi ba no si oboa am wa kill corruption a. I was say chasing no. I was say hwe ne kunu. This is very sad. Ghana. It's very sad. The country near woman no. And then the air cost to say no air time. It's about time you can't want them. It's about time I will say I can't want them. Or minor say or mana to take or mana say. But me and Kadukure media me Nanado wasn't my fan. He will never be my fan. Oh yeah, my fan so that because let me tell you, we knew him. Not personally. But we knew the kind of things he was doing and the personality, who he is. And to me, no, I don't know me fan that. I me fan. On to be so me fan that. Nasa upe se utu aba edimo bia. Mesi ya okufo kwa kan hwe ne sunu ne ban. Hwe esunu na hwe ban no. Ansa na watu aba. This time, even in a santimem, Munkunum Musha say, a David and Nando, I owe Hama Santimai. Me what now for both a bit to be some say, hey, and in number 5 better than Nando, I bet my catcher me. On to me, mom, with any good answer or best struggle. Because free HSS is not everything. It's not everything. It's not everything. And Nima Papa can now one may be to say the free testers and what or their boss for him now cars free testers. Free testers. Free testers. Free testers. Free testers. The star free testers no crown. She dear see. So woo Yamin fam mau now also be far and him guasi a tone any shene. And Kolaibu Fuyo Mudi Watem catcher was saying, we are Belen Yaman. Like I said to you, I don't support those things. But me who's Rollins time, Atamil's time, Mahama time, Kufuor time, me who be that. Whether exams was hard, whether it was not hard, me see me who be that. Now for about the same, and a students to me, edidi or mampenyeltem, about the same, and a students to me or mu papa a kuntokwa. Kika ma vini at the chireno. Bibi so. Eh? Bibi sa, mon kanje me. Na when you na echi wie no wie ya wo se o, ene wo be fane apokra de abo mokra na wo mambu tu apono gum. Na nkodai tu apono gum just so that they will vote for you. Hey, the corruption penny. Me who be that. Na uka we ya. Obi catch them say, "Wo ya against." And now mpere na do asem. No. Mama, onye me hwe. Na Nakufado onye me hwe. But not dia oya eye me ya. Ne ne tribal bigotry na oye no. Eni wo mu di na chi asantefo no a wo moye omo se wo mo akọ school lawyer be a lawyers e be say na so ebinimu enim nyansa na ebitum beta se kase enya asante man ni ho a Ghana ni ho achim ni ho a Ghana has no history atachia ene saa kwa bi na ne se bubu egu mu a ono de oya member of parliament na ne de oya ne se odidi matem ene ma kontokwa eno ano no. That's all he does. And my main focus today is me say me ma woti ase say ebia na wo mpa masem because me bashi na me nsisa madwen me bashi no because tribal issues now all push it into our system no any etimodina all push it into our system no why and never omia ridicule I am more than the word disgraceful and more than the word ridicule. The so-called economists of all times. The so-called economists of all time. The so-called economists of all time. Mobo, asefem. Ni mugu ase sign ankasa sign time pa enti de meka kire wunyia ne se wo tro akoto aba mesrew dwene hu yie na hwe abakora wo kwa akoto no na to yie hwe wabrabom na fatu aba show abrabom pa na fatu aba. I'm telling you so be sa ubehu bebia edu ba akosi ene ma se ma meka kire unyina ne se unye hunu hwe de ebesi no ebesi de ebesi pa no ebesi Enya, we'll be right back.
You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you. Now the person become your target.
Truth for justice.
Jobless no they mean senseless. Poverty no they mean useless. One day they go resist.
Truth for justice.
Yes, thank you very much, people. Midamasi. I want you to listen to this funny thing that is going on, Dr. Bawumia and his town hall meeting. So I want you to listen to a little bit of it and let's move on.
If you work, we also again 500 housing units, which is 20% complete.
Yeah.
We are responding directly to over 500 housing units. His Excellency the Vice President Kasi.
In fact, we also again 500 housing units, which is 20% complete.
Currently, we are responding directly to over 500 housing units. His Excellency the Vice President Kasi Sekioso, State Housing, Omo has started over 500 units. Assassinately, this is the land, and everybody can see. We bear anywhere, Akoso, Ewo, Assassin also. Absolutely nothing. Even documentations on the land in Puno. It has not yet been finalized or completed. It is extremely surprising for the Vice President to categorically say that over 500 units is under construction. There is nothing here which is under construction. So the land or the site is even ready and nothing seems to be ongoing. So it is a complete and blatant lie. We should disregard it and know that one of the lies Vice President perpetrating it. You can see it stretches from here up to this end. And
Why do you lie? Why do you lie? Why do you lie? Why do you lie?
In fact, we also again 500 housing units, which is 20% complete.
20% completed.
We are responding directly to over 500 housing units. His Excellency the Vice President Kasi Sekioso, State Housing, Omo has started over 500 units. Assassinately, this is the land, and everybody can see. We bear anywhere, Akoso, Ewo, Assassin also. Absolutely nothing. Even documentations on the land in Puno. It has not yet been finalized or completed. It is extremely surprising for the Vice President to categorically say that over 500 units is under construction. There is nothing here which is under construction. So the land or the site is even ready and nothing seems to be ongoing. So it is a complete and blatant lie. We should disregard it and know that one of the lies Vice President perpetrating it. You can see it stretches from here up to this end. And
Why do you lie? Why do you lie? Why do you
Yes, why do you lie, Mr. Vice President? Minyo Obamale nakai. Amale ehi esano maleo. Mene nsumoni mabolopi. Enye me bebre emesere. Na mebese yebehwe infrastructural development and all that. Nyamane ye kekekano. Messi, I'm telling you. I'm telling you guys, things are about to happen. I'm telling you.
Yeah, for say, His Excellency President, every the sense a sick leave was a lockdown leave by. Or the catcher say, the last message or the balance or but no catcher said, we making sure say, why am to Juma into mobile debate on issues and programs. Me assure someone in Amokai. Na Sisia baby are more than a namne papa no ne Sahadia. The Sahara Bassi Econodia, and I say, career better than able to form because Jack, somebody for Nanka Sanchema, one Tanya, more year no swap. I don't know more dodgy go post. Yeah, about issues and programs. Niamoya no more country Ghana for 150 billion Ghana cedis now margin. More account on chair, no chair, Juma Modia. Now NDC, so young Chemonia as NDC. You understand? And none of you are my back from now. Obi personal life, Mahama, Papa no, have a more dodge. Now, more before more country members, no more trust because we search the road to be out. What I say, Sasana Mubaya, the end, you ever call the sound. Sasana Mubaya, ever call the sound because he has his hand, ever call a crew Mubaya time. Or I cannot Cassian Fansol. Sasana Mbakono, the end, ever call the sound, go a Mubaya time. Because attentive what to be out to Kuma. Say, Ma, somebody ever can't the end, to be out to Akasia. Now, we chief spokesperson, Crocasama Kennedy Japon, and young Mahi. Sasana Mubakon, the end, ever call the bang to bang pa. Muba say, a tete water to amount for toi, and Tiso Muruja, and a Mube Huruja. Munda non tonja, Papa no lad, and a Mahama, near Mada, and no fire home, and any eka. Ghana force Mumbu Akonta, more than 150 billion Ghana cedis. Muba 3.5 years. Mumbu Akonta and Chomoni Amudisi Kanai, apart from free education, they be a more can one. I no press car must spend the 5 billion Ghana cedis. They pound Maya met me the Monsa point. And in the Abizamo. Now, Papa says, I'm back on there. Some people call to gutters, Yarumba cut down to the gutters because I tend to work to a Tramudidas Bebreto. And man, some of the Mamma from Mamukra, and marry with me some leaders, Libby with on no more people, Kumnia. Some man, some of the mobile candy, and your Mamma from Mamukra, and Massam. Mumia, non to Janian debate about programs and issues. And none President Catcher said, why you put to humanity, Montreal to Numa, why? Namon country Ghana for 90 for some trample to Numa Mahama, a year near country Ghana for a fear about 1 year, 2 nani. And yes, out 2016, and I'm Mahama and Crown 4, and I'm Mahama Jessica, and a Jida, and I'm confirmed San Casano, a trouble. Chirania, why 150 billion Ghana city facility, I would say, no. Chirania, they are near 56 billion Ghana cities. Mahama G and also the other year. And then the person can once a Mumia Croy. Please, Namuyana, Papa, and so what? Papa, and so what? Now, a bimoso na no post to Papa. News of your post to Papa, the real machine and Nipa Bear, Granny Williams. Masa, Mocha Ghana for Niamwai. Mocha Ghana for Niamwaji, $150 billion Ghana citizens in the eye. That is what we are asking from you people. We should be serious as a country. Namunya Papano, Mahama Kodinitra, and no FIA home. And no, I am a personal life. More post to Sanya, my hypocrites. One of the things I go from some funny, and I say, Sabraya, Ecos or Mobida. Say, I'm Pamposa Mahama. Now, Mama Party for money near 30 or moto. Mamma Mian Fanco, say, the call your mind better than you to form. And we don't want to talk about Obia personal life. Montreal are more than 150 billion Ghana citizens. That is what Ghanaians are asking from you people. Gone are those days. Now we're more about TV, and I'm Mahama Jida, and I'm Mahama, and you know the forget about that. We are talking of Sika Majinia Modiaye. Masa, so our time na Ghana wait, and Ghana Adibia Babias you. Nisamu Trona Modeba to turn through Gu Mahama Numasano. Moving us on here, share. Munina yo say Hona Mode Fadiana ma fairly cry. More fairly MPP, more fairly. Mochanya Modi $150 billion. A Ghana citizen, apart from free education, more spending 5 point something billion Ghana citizens. We are waiting for you. After the move, Jenny, Papa, Papa, da Sama, Sydney Abonyo, and the Kosi say. Sure, Sai, classes some now, Moody 2016 now, Moke Kaki can Samu, Kika Tantro, facts, Biani, Obia Musia Baya Disika, Mahama, for incompetent, Mobile, Multimina, Shikram Yamuza Mahama, Mumuna incompetent. Mobile, Multimia single person, Atubamia, the way I'm working by this time, and this is for 60, a good age. After a model for Papano, share Ghana for any at you, and your Papano and a better Yama Ghana for you, and your Papano and a better Ghana for the soul, and your Papano and a better reduce your city now. Abama dollar knock off for you, and yes, Papano, baby. Issues, more reduce $1. You people complain about Ghana, city says, Sikana essay, and I'm mobile Sikana who they at the same. Sa someone your person Bisamu. Ghana Sika who are there, Akosi say MPP for. Dr. Mamubu Duba, Mrs. The word Daniel Flo, depreciation one some curabium. You are dodging. Come and answer. Mama, Bray, or Council Mumayanka, Ebe Papa, check. The Mamufi says, Sabrina Tamu. See, the issues, Mama Chania, why? Now, I am a yase, Minion Mukumase for. Yekumasi for Nankasa minimum high. Ashanti region, we have to stand up. Because listen, Samiti will be some sit down and Mahama Kumasia. Make me about 1, 2, 3. And to some struggle and some maka. And to some struggle and some maka, some Mahama the sea kajetia. There be and you're struggling. Besides before say, almost strong go air Kumasi, then and another Wayamon. Minu animals and therefore, Mummy, I'm sorry. Because listen, Ewe for Mahama and money home money 2016. Oma got 2 Banekra Mahama. Omo say, Omo a critical thinkers. It is almost 2 Banema, 1 woman, Omo video Mahama. It may catch any young man Santifo, and I say, MPP and Tinya, she will Kumasi. I'll do Sabesu, Boakasi, MPP by saying no eh. Nyayati says, good to me movement. Good to me movement near the Kotuaba. Good to me movement. Now they want to be Nyan Sika as Antiphonianya Biadi. We are sorry. We are very, very sorry. As Antiphon Musori Namumani and Daho, Namutuabapa, Mahama Nyashe Krano, and Nayabetinaka Kajetia, Mahamani, Mochania Kufadwa Kumasi. Ohona was no stronghold, no. Then a wire. Ever for Mahama money home or they were 26. Oh, my God, 2 Banekra Mahama. As I for much before said, Mungu Keke. Mamma must some who are the more young or pekeke. Unless you do their normal clock wrong. I'm a 2 Bani Ria, Shim Nom the way down. Move on to a Banomo to real Kumasi MPs, a Budu send Yamom post. Kumasi MPs do not send Yamom post. Moncantre. Move at Transinia, you Sumusa every day. Massa, Obiani Bate. Ghana, MPP for the Obianiati, San Trona Mutadi Gujo Mahama on a temp. Sa, and after the Papano, and Ramudi Bay election. Fair, Yanio Brio, Quadio Ponkroma, who could general parliament, who MP Wako Capapano. You think we are joking, eh? I also want to radio so. Want to radio so be more honorable. What about parliament? Who didn't conform anymore? Yes, Ramo, let's talk about issues and programs. And no Kufuado catch it, and you don't expect some obey. NDC, Echo, manifesto, screaming the bar, say, Momra challenge up to now, Maka come and want to Mutiminka. Mutimoba Guami, I build your mind. Share, mobile incompetent, and who will be Mudia, baby, Eddie Mobile Gina, Mubahu, Ghana for, Kumasi for, voter region, all the 16 regions, MPP one cannot correct, Omoniano correct for, Mumian 2 Mufia Basso, Nagana Hontono, Obadia Kongana dollar 4.1, and then Yanam 5.9, Utiminka was a Waka 1 Meanwhile, you call yourself economic messiah. Where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumiadia, Vice President, His Excellency, we are so disappointed. Ghana for Wofu, Ghana for Dow, Seunima, Ghana for Mushia video way. Namo men cock MPP for no Namon Cancho say. Some person who call Gates, Ebe Papanadia, and your McConnisa. But say yes, I also don't perceive a junior man, a boo man, or man, Kosodia, and they should come out with issues and programs. Senate President Khan, Madam Wasi. Bye bye.
Yeah, some more. Yeah, some more. Yeah, some. All right, guys, let's look at this right quick. I'm going to show you a video right quick. From here, I'm going to show you a video that I want you to see. I just posted it a few minutes ago. It should be on here. All right, I want us to check this out. It's very important that we check this out also.
In 3.5 years, no government had done as much infrastructure investments as this Nana Akufo-Addo government. Number 2, he says they were focused on value for money, and their projects were more value for money than their predecessors. Number 3, he says they didn't abandon projects as being touted. Let's start with his comments on value for money.
So there's been a lot of road construction taking place across the country in the urban areas. We've got 589 kilometers of asphaltic overlay and rehabilitating 143 kilometers, reconstructing 97 kilometers. We are also constructing 4 state-of-the-art interchanges. We have the Tema interchange, where the loan, the sword cutting, and the completion were executed by this government. We have the Tamale interchange under the Sino-Hydro program. This is the first ever interchange in the 5 northern regions of Ghana, and it's at 44% completion. Then we have the Pokuasi interchange. This is a 4-tier interchange in West Africa. It's the first 4-tier interchange in West Africa. The first. That's the Pokuasi interchange. The loan agreement for this project was signed in November 2016 for a 3-tier interchange. When we came into office, we looked at it from a value for money perspective, renegotiated it for a 4-tier interchange for the same amount of money. For the same amount of money. We have the Obechebi-Lamte interchange, which is 55% complete. And I just cut the sword for the construction of the Nungwa interchange, which is yet to really start. But this is the highest number of interchanges, that is 5, that are being constructed in the first term of any government since independence. This is the highest number. But we are not finished. A 6th interchange, the PTC interchange in Takoradi, which will be the first interchange in the Western region, we will cut the sword next month for the start of that work under the Sino-Hydro project. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to note that the cost of the Tamale Pokwasi, and Obechebi Lamte interchanges is $289 million. 4 interchanges. Together, $289 million. While the cost of the Kwame Nkrumah interchange was contracted at $260 million.
So that was Dr. Bawumia throwing his first punch. He threw other punches. He described the claim that the MPP had abandoned projects inherited from the NDC administration as propaganda. And he went ahead to point out in the health sector some of the projects they had inherited and finished. So let's just hear that.
Ladies and gentlemen, contrary to propaganda, in addition to what we have done, that we have shown you in the data, in addition to that, we have also completed several health projects that we inherited from the previous government. Out of 30 infrastructure projects that we inherited from the previous government in the health sector, we have completed 16 of them, including 10 polyclinics, 2 district hospitals. There's also ongoing construction of another 9 district hospitals. So if you look at what we have completed, the polyclinic at BCRC, at Gomoa, Daurompong, Ekumfi, Noakwa, Birua, a polyclinic at Esi Sunkwa, Bimpong Eja, and then Gomoa as well, Jamera, Mankron, Akomfodi, and all of these have been completed. We completed the upgrading, the ongoing upgrading of the Tamale Teaching Hospital. We completed the ongoing construction of the offices of the Ministry for Health and Regulatory Bodies. We completed the Ga East Municipal Hospital. When we came, it wasn't quite completed. We completed it, and so on. So we have the data to show very clearly, and therefore it cannot be the case that we abandon projects that we inherited. It's in our interest to complete them. So we've completed 16 out of 30, and we are continuing and going to.
So that was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So Dr. Gideon Boako, in watching yesterday, I picked 4 key things. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Vice President said the first thing was that, of course, this database is good for governance. So it's good for media, civil society to track. So it's a tracking tool. That's his main point, that we have put it together, 17,000 projects. Second one, the MPP government and Nana Akufo-Addo has done more in infrastructure than any other government in the same period of time. That's the second point I got from what he said. Third point is that the MPP projects are better value for money than the John Mahama projects. That's the third point I got. And the fourth point was that, contrary to claims that this government had abandoned NDC projects, they had finished some. And he gave the health as an example. I don't know if those 4 make sense to you, or are there more? I'm sure you guys wrote the speeches and put the stuff together. If I said this was this, if I wrote a news item and put this 4 as my top 4 stories, would you say I done a good job?
Yeah, I think, thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'm also glad to be here with my colleague, Felix. We used to be mates then at KNUST.
You used to be mates at KNUST? Yeah. Oh, really? Studying what department?
I was in the chemistry department. I think he was in the department.
You studied chemistry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a great chemist.
I'm a scientist. Economics.
No, I studied science, my first degree.
You did science? Yeah. Physical science?
Yeah. Okay, so wow. we did back from KNUST.
Okay.
And, fellas, remember we used to do this on Night Beat.
Night Beat?
On Loud FM with Samson Ladia and Yenene.
Oh, you've been doing this for years?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Samson was also our colleague on campus. So.
Amazing. Yeah. And that time you were MPP, he was NDC?
He was in TESCON, I was in TEI. He was TESCON president. I was the spokesperson for TEI. No,
I was the spokesperson.
Yes. Oh, I was also the spokesperson, yes.
Wow.
There's 2005.
From 2005 to now.
Wow.
So that's how far we have come.
Good.
Yeah, so as you said, I mean, you put it right. You were not far from the right. And I think the next day newspaper headlines also kind of followed the same trajectory. Basically, what we have done, or what we decided to do as a government, was to think through the whole governance structure and the governance architecture, and then also to see how best we can remain accountable to the good people of this country. President Akufo-Addo has used so many channels to account to the people of this country. In fact, different governments use some similar and somehow different channels. Sometimes People's Forum and all of that. One of the key things that we decided to do is also the town hall meeting and the results fair. We did the first one, the second one was done in Kumasi this year. And then when we did the second one in Kumasi to kind of talk about our manifesto records, the Vice President hinted that along the line we're going to come up with this infrastructure records. But of course the COVID-19 came, and so we all had to stay back until things eased up. Now on this particular exercise, we felt that we needed to put our infrastructure records, together by way of data. But what was key amongst the exercise we did was how to make it easily accessible to the Ghanaian people. We are not doing this ostensibly to say that we want to show off what we have done. But it's exercise that we think we had to do to enhance the whole democratic ethos and also give some kind of impetus to the whole transparency issue that we talk about. So government is trying to be very transparent. This is what we gather as evidence of our infrastructure record. You, the Ghanaian people, it is on your task that government survives and government does anything. And government relies on the credibility and the goodwill of the good people of Ghana to even assess borrowing. So we have to remain accountable to the people. And so we cannot just put the thing together and let it be the exclusive preserve of a few people to have access to. But how can we make it easily available? That is why we decided to come up with this tracker.
So it wasn't as if you were aiming at the Green Book?
Oh, not at all.
Because the fabled Green Book, I have it here.
Not at all.
You were not trying to bend the Green Book.
The position posts are quite different. Our own sense was that let's make things available. Let's enhance the whole issue of transparency and give the Ghanaian people a chance to also assess us. Because sometimes if I come to sit on this show and I say that we built 8 schools, we built 5 schools, we've done this here, done that, I say it in passing and I leave. And it's not every Ghanaian that has the opportunity to watch us as we are doing this program. But when I have left and gone out of this show, how would that person be able to have access to that?
I want to deal with that four things. So the first thing Dr. Bawumia says, this government has done more in 3.5 years than any other government in comparison. He said that.
Yes, so we didn't say that in vacuum. We say that based on the evidence and based on the facts that we have. And we have put out what we think represent the superior performance of any government in the first term, so insofar as infrastructure records are concerned. We have made it available, we did not hide it. It's a challenge somehow, latently. If there is any previous government or anybody at all that feels that what we are saying is not true and in comparative terms stands a better position to produce results that appear more convincing and robust than the argument we are making, we welcome it and we want that to be shown so that Ghanaian people can also assess it. So bring out...
So it's not as if you took every previous government's first term and compared. You took your first term and put it out.
Exactly.
And then you made a claim that you are the best. Anybody who challenges, who thinks you don't agree, should come and challenge.
Come and challenge it, and come and challenge it by also showing us what we have.
Is it that you didn't have data on previous governments 3.5 years, or it's difficult to get?
Oh.
So you could have said, let's take NDC 2000 and whatever, 3 years, and then compare, instead of just telling us MPP and leaving everybody else.
Well, we didn't think it was worthwhile spending that energy doing that kind of work. Ghanaians had given us a mandate, and the mandate is to deliver to them. Whilst we are delivering, we need to, along the line, tell them what we have done. We have done that, and based on our own assessment, we think our record is second to none.
Fantastic.
If anybody has contrary record, first term of any government, show it.
So I'm going to structure the discussion along those 4 themes. I think it makes sense. First claim, this government's 3.5 years, the infrastructure beats everybody else. We'll deal with that. Second one, we'll deal with value for money. Third one, we'll deal with continuing NDC projects. And then we'll talk about the value of this as a treasure trove for information. So, Felix, what's your response to the claim that if you limit to a first term of a government, the 17,000 projects that they list on the website is unprecedented?
Well, that is simply not true. I will tell you up front. But before I come to that, let me make some preliminary comments. It is obvious that Dr. Bawumia did this under duress because the NPP has come under intense pressure and scrutiny from sections of the public who look at the amount of resources that we estimate to be around 300 billion Ghana cedis in the last 3.5 years, say 4 years, and who have not seen commensurate levels of capital investment compared to the NDC, who Dr. Bawumia says in 8 years had 248 billion. That can show, sector by sector, unprecedented levels of capital investment. They also see that people increasingly give plaudits to President Mahama and the NDC, and they find that an existential threat in terms of their chances towards the elections. So they then felt compelled to go and do this with a view to chipping away at the plaudits and commendation that the NDC was getting, and at the same time show that they are doing something. Staggeringly enough, rather than stick to what they have done and show that it measures up to expectation, they make very bewildering claims. Indeed, Dr. Bawumia did not just say that this was the best performance of any first-term government. He actually went as far as saying that it is better than our 8-year performance. Indeed, he's not the only one who has said that. President Akufo-Addo has said it. Multiple people in the NPP have said it. Now, you see, it is bad enough for them to attempt to compare themselves to President Mahama, who, I must tell you, would eviscerate the NPP, Nanado, sector by sector. And if you give me the opportunity, I'll prove it to you with facts in terms of capital investments. But it will get completely funereal for them if they say that they have done more in 4 years than the NDC 8 years. It is simply not true. And let me demonstrate it to you with the greatest respect, with your indulgence. Look, when you come to education, the table that they provide, at all levels put together, they say that they have a total of 2,254 projects, out of which they've completed 1,025. That is all levels of education put together. They say they are working on 3 secondary schools. That's what the table says, out of which they completed 1. And they speak about technical education. There's nothing for universities because they have none. Now, when you come to the NDC, at the basic level alone, when you take kindergarten blocks, we have 1,375 kindergarten school blocks. Now I see that you are checking the green book, but actually the book you should go for is this one. This is what we call the education green book. They have their own publication.
Oh, you have an education green
Absolutely, book? Absolutely, filled with facts and figures.
So you have
and
sectoral
pictures.
Green books?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Now when you come,
so this is not here?
Yeah, it's not here.
Okay.
Now when you come to the basic level, since 2010, when the Schools and Arteries project began, a total of 2,931 classroom blocks were initiated, out of which 2,031 were completed. Secondary school level, over 1,000 school projects, classroom blocks were completed. There are about 1,500 more other projects, but I'll focus just on school blocks. And about 180 dormitories. When you put this together, you inch close to 5,000 separate school blocks.
Within which period?
Between 2010 and 2016. I've done this just to show the fully.
Why don't you limit
but
it?
I'm doing it because of what they have said. If you limit it to President Mahama, we have close to 3,000 of such projects at all levels. Again, look at secondary schools, for instance. And I'm talking schools, not classroom blocks. In the video that you showed.
Sorry, just to be clear. Okay. When I went to education on the tracker, they have 2,700 in total.
Yes.
1,253 completed,
Yes.
1,447 ongoing. Gideon, I am on the tracker, so
Okay.
my guys can
All right.
show it. You are saying that between 2010, I want you to do Mahama as president.
There's no difficulty with Mahama. I'll give
Because
you the figure.
the framework is 3.5
Over
years.
3,500 for Mahama. Now, I'll
And
give you
these
the
are,
breakdown.
I'm just infrastructure of all types or just
Of all
school?
types, from KG. No, I'm talking about classroom blocks.
Classroom
I'm
blocks.
not adding infrastructure of all types. I'm talking about KG basic school.
Where can I find that?
Oh, we have the figures. Indeed, there's a very
Can
voluminous.
you hand me the book while you're talking?
Well, there's a very voluminous. Oh, but I'll use it for my analysis.
I'll
too,
give
so I
it
read
back to you. I just
There's a
want to
very
be sure.
voluminous book from Get Fund and the Ministry of Education that contains the exact location everywhere. We have not done a tracker. You don't need to do a tracker to be able to show where the projects are. It's just clear. Now, when it comes to secondary schools alone, they say they are working on 3.
Yes.
And that they've completed 1. That's what the table says. Now, we at least completed 46 senior secondary schools or senior high schools, if you like. 46, not 3. When you come to tertiary education, President Mills had 2 universities, University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani, and then the University of Health and Allied Sciences at Sokode in the Volta region. Now, President Mama has the University of Environment and
So let me
Development.
just search interruption. I'm just reading something. Ministry of Education book, page 68, school infrastructure. As part of efforts to remove the remaining 6% of schools under trees, a total of 2,031 out of 2,936 schools projects were awarded since 2010, which is what you're referring to. In addition, the ministry and its partners have since 2013, this is Mahama, completed the following projects: 1,129 classroom blocks. This is basic.
This is basic.
739 toilet blocks, 73 teacher accommodation blocks, 472 urinals, 622 schools. Okay, so your schools blocks are 1,129.
Just for primary.
This is primary. Good. So this is the page 68. People can check.
Yeah, so if I can have it for my continuation.
Go ahead.
So that is it. Again, if you come to something like airports, aviation, they say that President Akufo-Addo's biggest contribution to the sector is 90% completion rate of phase 2 and phase 3 of the Kumasi airport. And then the expansion of the Sunyani airport, and then phase 2 of Tamale. Now, to set the record straight, the Kumasi airport, phase 1 and phase 2 are President Mama's projects. Phase 1 costs 24 million, phase 2 is 65 million. But phase 2 and phase 3 are fused together. Phase 3 allows air bridges and other things to be installed. So even there, President Mama takes the lion's share because of his share contribution. In addition to that, President Mama has the ultramodern Terminal 3, which is a 5 million passenger a year terminal, world class, one of the best in Africa at the moment, the best certainly in West Africa. In addition to that, he has a brand new airport at Ho. In addition to that, he has a modern arrival hall in Terminal 2, which rivals anyone.
All done within which period?
All done within his 4-year period.
Started and ended.
Of course, you see, the fact is that for purpose of analysis, it is the government that finds the money that takes credit. It is the reason why, despite the fact that the N1 project basically was entirely executed under Mills, President Kufuor takes credit. It is the reason why you will recall that the Gang of 4 routes, Dr. Dufour, as finance minister, had to find $200 million to complete it because it was more funded. But President Kufuor takes credit.
So you are saying that it's the government
that finds the money,
not the government that builds and
because
finishes.
you see, depending on how the deal is structured, once you find the money and give it to the contractor, you execute it. You are bound by contractual agreements.
Really?
Now, the MPP, they take credit for Bui Dam. President Kufuor left $700 million for Bui. I'm sure that about 80% or so of the construction took place under Mills and Mahama, but President Kufuor took it. It is the reason why when President Mahama was going to commission it, he took President Kufuor along.
Okay.
President Mills took him along when he was going to commission the N1 interchange. So that point must be made clear. Indeed, recently, President Akufo-Addo has sent a number of financial agreements to Parliament to be passed for some hospitals. If the monies ever come and the projects are executed, irrespective of whichever government is in power, he will take the credit. So the clear lines must be drawn. Now, if you look at transport, what we call maritime, which deals with ports, the biggest investment to date in the transport sector, at least under the Fourth Republic, is the MPS terminal. Over $1 billion sunk into that. It has made that port the second biggest in West Africa. In addition to that, President Mama has the Takoradi expansion project, 300 million euros. In addition to that, he has the Albert Bosomtwe Sam fishing harbour, 54 million from the Japanese government, and a number of others that I can go on. On the basis of this, there's absolutely no basis on which the NPP can claim that they have a superior record. The last one is water.
I'm coming. So, in education, you've shown me the projects compared to MPP.
Exactly.
On aviation, you mentioned the airports clearly higher than.
Exactly.
You did mention a third category which we didn't compare the MPP. Before you came to the last one you're mentioning. So you did aviation.
I've done aviation. I've done education.
Yes.
I can do health if you want. I can do water if you want.
Talk to me about health.
Again, I'm speaking to a document that they presented yesterday. Apparently, the highest achievement of President Akufo-Addo in health is 435 or so CHIPS compounds, out of which he says he has completed about 285. We have 1,600 CHIPS compounds.
Okay.
We have 22 polyclinics. President Akufo-Addo apparently has 2. We have 14 district hospitals. President Akufo-Addo has 1, and even that one, it is only today that he cut short in Shama, and that point is important. When we come to the issue of value for money, I'll use it to demonstrate
about initiation of projects.
Oh no, I don't have a difficulty. Once he has found the money, he says yes, I don't have a difficulty. But I'm saying that one is actually what they cut short for in Shama today. And when we come to the issue of value for money, I'll use it to demonstrate
so the deception again for viewers. When I go on the tracker, health infrastructure, 673 projects in total. 378 completed, 295 ongoing. Then the projects are given, there are quite many. So 673
compounds and what have you.
Yes, so they are a mix of projects. So you put them together, 673.
Exactly.
You are saying, again, are you talking about?
I'm talking about Mahama, not
Mahama. You are saying that
the clinics. He has regional hospitals to show, He has to show. He has University of Ghana Medical Center to show, and a host of others. He has institutional hospitals, International Maritime Hospital. He has a bank hospital to show. President Akufo-Addo has none of these to show. He has CHIPS compounds, 1 district hospital, 2 polyclinics.
So Bank of Ghana Hospital, the Maritime Hospital, when they started under Mahama?
Absolutely. Maritime Hospital started in 2013. The Bank of Ghana Hospital around the same 2014. But they are institutional hospitals. Now, to the extent that...
So even if funding didn't come from central government...
Let me ask the question. Absolutely. It's a state institution. It is a state institution.
It's a state institution that starts the project.
The government already takes credit.
You take the credit.
The same way people blame President Mahama for the banking sector crisis, even though the Bank of Ghana is supposed to be independent. So you cannot approbate and reprobate. He cannot be responsible for supposedly bad things that happen
and not
be responsible for good things.
I think so, you give me some good sectors.
Absolutely. And then finally water.
Yes, water.
Because of the shared volume of projects, I will use the percentages and the total volume of water produced.
Okay.
In 2001, let me come to 2009 because it's pretty close. That's when President Akufo left office.
Yes.
Water production was at 56% for urban population, 41% for rural population. Now, by 2016, it had gone to 76%.
Rural or urban water? Average?
Both rural and urban, 76. Now, if you put it together, that is a jump from 56 to 76, about 20%. Now, the numbers there show that at least we added 102.7 million gallons of water a day production capacity through the POM project, through the tertiary desalination project, in Salmon water project, the 5 pounds water project, and a host of others that I cannot mention because of time constraints. The NPP simply cannot match this. So when Dr. Bawumia stands on a platform and says that they have done what no government has done, it is simply not true. Factually, it is simply not true.
Okay. So that's the point. So on the water one, you chose to use the percentage of coverage.
Because the projects are many.
Yes.
I'm
just trying to make it people easy. So education, you did comparison project for project.
Absolutely.
On aviation, you did the same. But for water, you're saying that let's look at coverage. Because that's the end result.
I can do the projects for you.
If because they have 5,505.
But you see, that's where and the reason why I use those is to show you about the total impact of those projects. For instance, I've seen a number of water tanks, some solitary tanks sitting in some corner, that is described as a water project. Indeed, Gideon can provide the total number of people who benefit from water provision under them, or what they've added. I can say that between 2009 and 2016, an additional 7 million Ghanaians were given access to water. For instance, if you take the Pond Water Project, for instance, it is a 40 million gallon a day water
radiado. One no petty na yet yasio. I don't know my own science yes. You don't see you. And it's Yabama. No party crew. One is so. Now ready. Missy Yabama. Yes, radiado. One no petty na yet yasio. I don't know my own science yes. You don't see you. And it's Yabama. No party crew. One is so. Now ready. Missy Yabama. Yes, radiado. One no petty na yet yasio. I don't know my own science yes.